You cannot just work there without knowing people.
And those in the city's nightclub scene will recognize Kirk Wilson immediately. He was one of 3 security personnel killed in the club shooting.
Or without knowing how it works.
Where are you from, Percy?
U.S.
Or without knowing how it works, or without really knowing the customers.
U.S.
Oh, but which state?
No state in particular.
And how it all works.
There were 24 kidnappings in Mexico City in the last 6 days. 4 a day.
Yeah?
Yes.
24?
And how it all works, and without people knowing you as well and who you are.
24. What do you think about that,
I
Percy?
think that you know entirely more than you should.
Well, thank you.
Because if not, you can end up like this bouncer from Toronto.
To the bloody massacre at a music festival in Mexico.
He would be hired as a bodyguard to VIPs.
You know, everybody knew my dad in Acapulco. Like, for example, the way that I got this job at Baby-O went like this. I had already done the security work at Alebrije. I was head of security there. But basically, I went to an audition for an acting gig. I'll get into that story some other time. But basically, I played a bouncer in a soap at Baby-O.
Ayúdame, por favor, porque no sé, me siento muy mal. Me siento muy mal, mi marido.
¡Cállate, cállate!
Voy a calmar.
¡Ya!
I had a fight scene.
¡Usted cállese la boca!
A fight scene with the main actor.
No. Patricio, no, Patricio, no.
Señorita, ¿quiere que hable a la policía?
No.
¡Le habla a la policía!
No quiero que la...
Basically, because of this,
No quiero que la...
¡Eso es la policía! ¡Ustedes ya no entran aquí!
I got to know the head of security there because I actually didn't know him. But my dad knew him because he was a regular customer at Baby-O. And he actually partied hard, like really hard there back in the days. I came to find out later from the bouncers, like a lot of things about my dad that I didn't know.
No, dime, por favor, ¿estás bien? Dime que estás bien. Por favor, Patricio.
Later from the bouncers, like a lot of things about my dad that I didn't know. And but basically, this is how I came about telling the head of security, because he was there during the entire filming. He's also in the series, and basically this is how I came about to talk to him. He already heard about me, but he never seen me, because he knew me in the club. I was head of security. It's not far from there. I just never really cared about going to Baby-O as a customer. My dad almost took me a few times, and you know, when I owned my bar, he kept telling me to go there, and I just never really cared about going there. So I never really went there as a customer. That's basically my point. I only worked there. And yeah, that's basically how I started working there. So I don't know if that might be the reason why at the end they didn't get me. Because maybe the head of security guard told these guys like, hey, this guy, his dad is so-and-so, and you know, his godfather is so-and-so, and blah, 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 blah. Like, you cannot just work there without knowing people. Or without knowing how it works.
Where are you from, Percy?
U.S.
Or without knowing how it works, or without really knowing the customers.
U.S.
Oh, but which state?
No state in particular.
You can drive and talk at the same time.
No, I can't, Peter, so please, let me just do my job.
And how it all works.
There were 24 kidnappings in Mexico City in the last 6 days. 4 a day.
Yeah?
Yes.
24?
And how it all works, and without people knowing you as well and who you are.
24. What do you think about that,
I
Percy?
think that you know entirely more than you should.
Well, thank you.
Because if not, you can end up like this bouncer from Toronto.
To the bloody massacre at a music festival in Mexico.
One Canadian is confirmed among the dead. He was a popular fixture in Toronto's nightclub scene.
End up like this bouncer from Toronto that just went there for an event. This black bouncer, he went there for an event, like a Toronto event. They rented a club. They brought their own security.
He would be hired as a bodyguard to VIPs like Jake or the basketball players during the NBA All-Star Game in Toronto. And those in the city's nightclub scene will recognize Kirk Wilson immediately. He was one of 3 security personnel killed in the club shooting. He's got a gun, a man screams as chaos erupted outside a nightclub in the Mexican resort town of Playa del Carmen. Inside the Blue Parrot Club, patrons dove for cover. The phone video shows people running for their lives when one lone shooter opened fire.
I sound like a fireworks. When I moved over my head, I saw one of the persons fighting with the guy with the gun, and then this guy started shooting everywhere. Like I just can see the fire from the gun. This moment is when the people started running away from the place.
And they didn't pay the protection money. This guy was also African American, which in Mexico, sometimes that doesn't benefit you because some people are racist there and they will not give black people a pass.
Being black, is that a positive or negative for a bodyguard in Mexico?
Time will tell.
Among the dead, Kirk Wilson of Stony Creek, who had gone down to run security for the BPM Electronic Music Festival, started by 2 Canadians.
Just great in so many ways. Just a nice guy overall, you know.
A married father of 2, Wilson was a familiar face in the Toronto nightclub scene.
If there was a fight, if there was an issue, Kirk's the kind of guy that would get right in front of the aggressor and put an end to it. You know, that's the kind of guy he was, and that's what made him so great.
He was a legend here in the industry and provided a really good time for a lot of people, not only with the nightclub industry, but also pretty much for most of the events that have come to Toronto for the last 20 years.
But early this morning, Wilson got in front of a bullet in the crowded club when suddenly panic set in. A gunman burst through the entrance, exchanging gunfire with another man as patrons tried to flee.
Not give black people a pass when they might give white people a pass. This is just how it is. There's sometimes, guys, it's just the truth, you know? Like, if that guy had been white, maybe they wouldn't have shot him, but basically they killed him. And it's because he didn't know nobody there. Like, you can't just go there and show up and just try to do security when you're, like, not from there. Like, it's not appreciated by almost anyone when that's done over there. Especially people from the nightlife and people that are in that life. So that's just a bonus for you guys, because, you know, I will get into more stories, guys. I mean, if I keep talking, I'll just get into different stories that I should actually probably do a different video with a different title. But, yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Till the next video, catch you later.